Holy smokes. The BJJ report. I don't know if this is public or if it's to my friends and family and another 3,000 or 4,000 people that I know or have heard of or think about or see. Carrie, what's up? You got your BJJ back up there in Indian Creek, don't ya? Don't ya? Well, guys, this is the BJJ report, and I'm gonna do this kind of, I guess we'll figure this out real quick. So I'm reading a book. It's called Are You Ready to Succeed? Unconventional Ways to Find Success or whatever in life. It's an amazing book. This is actually the second year that I've read it, and I'm working through it with a good friend of mine, Kenny Zitska, who is the king of discipline, master discipline. You know, he believes in discipline and shit. Anywho, in the beginning of the book, talks about this young guy goes up to a master's door, knocks on the master's door, and the master finally answers the door, and the master's like, the young guy knocks on the door, says, "What up, Dwayne? Where are we at?" Up in Matt. The master says, the young guy comes to the door and he says, "Hey, will you train me and make me into a master too?" And he goes, "How long is it going to take me to do all this?" And the master says, "Yeah, I'll train you. And all you got to do is, work hard, be dedicated, and it'll take you 10 years. And then gotcha. That's right, that's what they told me. And then the young guy, he's full of passion. He's ready, he's excited. You can tell he wants to do it, and he's dedicated. And he goes, "What happens if I work twice as hard, I put in twice as much effort, and I work mornings, days, and nights?" And the master goes, 20 years. The guy's like, 20 years? The time's gonna double? The time's gonna double if I work twice as hard? And the guy goes, the master goes, if you're working twice as hard, you can only have like one eye on the goal and one eye on what you're doing. I guess what he's saying there is that, if you slow down, take your time, you can keep both your eyes on what it is that you're doing and where you're going. And I'll relate that to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu this morning. And last night, it's not morning anymore, apparently it is a little bit later in the afternoon. So I read that story this morning, and in between that, I had Jiu-Jitsu last night, and I trained with Shell Shock, and I was training with Professor John Shell, and I was tensed up again. And what's funny is you can tell when somebody's really just begun, and I can't say I'm still at the very beginning of my journey, but when somebody starts up, they're just really tense and really just like a bunch of, it's not even springs, like a plank, like a board, and kind of wooden, right? Oh no, regato. And just really tense because you're just like pent up and tense. And he's like, you gotta loosen up, you gotta just use the muscles you're gonna need when you need them. And it makes sense. And it's kind of obvious, like once somebody says it to you, but until you do that, you're using all this effort, you're putting all this effort into sometimes absolutely nothing, just trying not to get strangled or mangled. And again, I read that story, and really what it is sometimes it's efforting less, using less effort and using the technique, using what you know to get to where you've got to get to. And that was reaffirmed today, which is really great. You know that you're around good people and good teachers when they're willing to let you know that you are in that position, that there is a way to use less effort. There's a way for you to have more success quickly by actually working, not working as hard. That just all came out like this garble, blah. But the deal is, again, today, Joe, I don't know your last name, Joe, but I really appreciate, roll with Joe this afternoon, again, at Open Mat down at Shell Shock Jiu-Jitsu. And he, too, was like, gave me a couple different pointers in a couple different spots. One of them was like, listen, if you find yourself in XYZ spot, give a technical lift, bounce your way out of there, create that space, reset. And then the other one was, again, he's like, listen, you're using a lot of effort, and it's the technique, not necessarily always the effort that you're using. So I hope that some of that sinks in with anybody. I hope some of that's helpful for anybody else out there. I know that it's been helpful for me to just kind of reiterate that, put that in the frame. It's not, it's not how, like I'm a master carpenter, but it's not how hard you hit the nail, it's how you hit the nail, right? For anybody that's been hitting nails out there. Most of us have hit a nail or two and are familiar with it, though. So hopefully that's helpful, guys. Again, I just wanted to share just a little shout out to, it's good to be back at Shell Shock Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Even if you miss like a week or a week and a half of some place that you're home away from home, you miss it. You miss what's going on, and you miss the people that are there. And again, it's not even instruction. Is it instruction? It's just the willingness to teach, to share, to impart knowledge, so that you can get better, so that you can pass that knowledge on, so that and they get better. And it makes honestly everybody in the whole setup better. At least it gives them the opportunity for success. And that's one of the things that impresses me the most about going to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It's one of the things that impresses me the most about my house. Meg's great with that. The boys are both great with that. My coworkers are great with that. And often it's funny how once you start seeing that, you can find it everywhere you look. And so I find it everywhere I look these days, guys. Hopefully you're finding some of the same in your own life. That is it for me. Brandon Hanley, fatherhood for the rest of us, BJJ report, and that's it, guys.